The steepest hurdle between you and your ultimate objective rarely exists in the physical world. It lives entirely in the mind. This visual blueprint maps out a precise system for dismantling that mental barrier. It's a mechanism for altering your external reality through deliberate shifts in mindset. The entire system relies on one absolute foundation. An unshakable belief that you can succeed acts as the literal anchor for everything that follows. Before a single fistal step is taken toward a goal, this internal conviction must already be in place. It dictates the boundaries of what you are willing to attempt. Without that anchored belief, external strategies and resources are entirely useless. The mind will not execute a plan it does not trust. Establishing that baseline belief requires a mechanical change to your daily self-talk. The phrase, "I can't," acts as a cognitive lock, and it must be completely eradicated. This requires a psychological pivot away from the comfort of safety. You actively opt for growth, even when it leaves you feeling exposed. Tasks stop being categorized as too difficult. Instead, they are deliberately reframed as a challenge, a puzzle designed to test your capacity. Feelings of inadequacy, the persistent thought of not being good enough, are replaced by a forward-looking metric. You measure yourself entirely by the fact that you are improving every single day. These micro shifts in language actively rewire your neural pathways. They strip away perceived limitations and force your focus squarely onto potential and possibilities. When this newly constructed belief system collides with the friction of the real world, a distinct psychological defense mechanism kicks in. It is called Excusitis. It operates as a literal disease of failure, aggressively infecting your potential before it can materialize. The symptoms manifest as a loop of rationalizations. It's too difficult, I have no time, or I'm not ready. The only prescribed cure is extreme ownership. You stop the infection by taking absolute, full responsibility for both your actions and the outcomes they produce. Excuses do not reflect objective reality. They are invisible, self-imposed chains engineered to protect your ego at the direct expense of your success. Once momentum stops, a vacuum forms, and in that static vacuum, fear expands rapidly. Fear is the direct emotional byproduct of inaction. The longer you stand still, analyzing and hesitating, the more fertile the ground becomes for anxiety to breed. The blueprint dictates a specific operational rule to combat this. Action cures fear. Indecision must be forcefully replaced with bold movement. You do not wait to feel confident before acting. Confidence is the output of action, not the prerequisite. Taking consistent, courageous steps forward closes the physical distance to your goal, while serving as the neurological antidote to paralyzing fear. With the internal mechanics tuned and the friction of fear neutralized, the focus must move outward. A newly installed, expansive mindset is highly vulnerable. A massive vision will suffocate if left inside a restrictive, negative environment. Upgrading your environment becomes a mandatory defensive strategy. You have to physically step out of the dark. This requires deliberately distancing yourself from cynical voices and negative social influences that shrink your forward-thinking vision. Simultaneously, you must proactively place yourself in the proximity of positive, high-achieving individuals who operate at the exact level you are aiming for. Your environment functions as a mirror. If you intend to achieve massive growth, you must intentionally engineer your surroundings to reflect that standard. Once the internal operating system and the external environment are aligned, the targets themselves must be recalibrated. This is where the blueprint scales through the 10x goal rule. Identify your single largest goal, commit it to writing, multiply it by 10, and immediately begin execution. Applying that 10 times multiplier eliminates the option of safe, incremental improvements. It forces your mind to completely bypass standard operating procedures and demands bold, revolutionary action. It is a complete systemic pathway, forging an internal belief, executing the death of excuses, and projecting outward into exponential goals. The specific architecture of your thoughts dictates the exact physical reality you will ultimately inhabit. The blueprint is there. Become the person you are capable of becoming. If this breakdown helped you rethink your trajectory, like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to the channel for more.